Welcome to Phantastic Feast. I'm your host, Thuy Phan. Today I'm going to show you a dish that is really popular. It's called Vietnamese shaking beef. And the reason why it's so popular is 1, it's super tasty, 2, it's super easy, and 3, it is super tasty. So I'll show you this really easy meal and how to make it. It's something that you can do on a weeknight, and it doesn't take that many ingredients, and you can put it together in just a few minutes and feed your family, and there'll be one happy family. So let's get started. What you will need for this dish is about 5 cloves of garlic, more if you like it really garlicky. I have here 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, and then this is what I call the trifecta, which is soy sauce, fish sauce, and oyster sauce. I have 2 tablespoons of each of them, and they'll make the marinade and make it really tasty. And here I have about 1.5 to 2 pounds of ribeye steak. Now, you can use filet mignon or sirloin, New York strip, whichever you find that you have available. I also have tomato and red onion for garnish, and also a little bit to stir fry with the beef as well. So you can use it on a bed of watercress, romaine, butter lettuce, whatever you decide, or you can skip that altogether. So this is a really easy dish, and we'll make this so that you can see how easy it is to make a really delicious meal at home instead of having to go to a restaurant. So let's get started. So we'll get started with the red tomato, and I'll start with the tomato because then we can slice other things without it contaminating the cutting board. So you just want thin slices for this, and this is for the garnish at the end. Okay, so I have our tomatoes are ready, and we'll just set this aside for the end. Next, we'll work on our onions, and now I have red onions here. I will slice one of them also for the presentation and garnishing stage, and then I'll do one where I will dice these so that I can stir fry it together with the beef. So, and this adds a really nice pop of color. If you really want to go traditional, you could pickle these onions and just add a little bit of vinegar, sugar, and water, and then you could pickle this so then it kind of takes away the sharpness of the onion. That's an option. I think the Vietnamese shaking beef, or bo lục lak, has become something that is really popular in American culture, or for other ethnicities or nationalities. It's become kind of ubiquitous like pho because it's so tasty. It's something that is not too ethnic, I guess you could say, but it's super tasty, and so it's kind of hard to dismiss something that tastes so good and is so easy to make. These will cut into chunks, into wedges. And I'll cut this in half. Okay. Our onions are cut. Ooh, okay. Ooh. So spicy. Okay. Now our onions are cut. What we'll do now is mince our garlic. Now you could do extra garlic if you want to make the red rice that you can want to do with this as well. I'll show you how to do that later. You just want to give it a rough chop and nice mince. Okay. And that should be good. Doesn't have to be too fine. So now we've prepped everything. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna cut the beef into little cubes, and then after that we'll marinate it and let it sit for a little bit, and then we'll start frying. So this steak is already cut to the size that I want. I just need to, the thickness is what I want. I just need to cut it into smaller cubes. Such a beautiful cut of beef. And I do want to cut off the sinew. They're not very big cubes, but I like it that way, so they're like bite-sized pieces. Okay, now our beef is all cut and we'll start the marinade. Now we'll start marinating. I'll add here the fish sauce, soy sauce, oyster sauce, brown sugar. The brown sugar will help with the caramelization, and then we'll add our garlic. And freshly cracked black pepper. Okay. It looks so yummy already. A little bit more black pepper. And that's your marinade. We will let this sit for about 10 minutes to half an hour, give it some time to really soak in the flavors, and then we will start frying it. And then you'll get your shaking beef, and how the name comes from is how it kind of reacts in the pan. So let's give it some time and then we'll get started. So let's get started with the frying. We've given it some time to marinate. Now it's ready. What we'll do is just give it a little sprinkle of oil, not too much. And one of the important things of making shaking beef so good is that you have to make sure that you don't crowd the pan. What you might end up doing is, if you do that, the beef ends up stewing and it doesn't get that nice crackly burnt edges that you're looking for, and then it won't be as soft and luscious as you want. So just make sure that you do this in batches, so then it gets that really nice crispy outer edge, and then you really enjoy it a lot more. So we'll wait for that to heat up. We have our beef here. It's been marinating. To be honest, if you start with a good cut of beef, it's going to be really good anyways, but with all that extra seasoning and flavoring, it's going to be so delicious. And you can also add some bell peppers and mushrooms if you want to make this more of a stir fry. I'm just going to do some red onion and then put it on top of a bed of watercress and tomatoes, and then we'll eat it as is. Okay, I'll add the beef. It smells so good already. Okay. Okay. And I like to spread it out right away. Make sure that it has space. It smells so good. shaken beef part. Our shaken beef is just about ready, so now we will prep it and put it all together and kind of put together our salad and get it going. I have here some watercress. You could also use romaine and other type of lettuces if you want. Okay, we'll add some tomatoes. Then we'll add some of our onions. And again, you could pickle this if you want. Just do a few just for color. Okay. And now we can add our beef. Ooh, that looks so good. Smells so good, and you can finish it off with some cracked black pepper. Ooh, that looks so good. Okay, now I have here my shaken beef with watercress and tomato salad ready, and then I have here some white rice. You can also make some red rice or whatever it is that you want to eat with this. On its own is fine too. I'm going to give it a try. I'll just eat the beef first and I'll try the rest. Super tasty. The beef is so tender. It's sweet, salty, and has an umami flavor. Yum. It's so good. That is so good. The shaken beef is just perfect. It has the right amount of umami flavor, sweet and a little salty. It has a nice crust on it, and it's just a perfect bite with that watercress and tomato. Really bright and really refreshing. It's such a good meal. I think you'll really enjoy it.